The monster's onslaught was unyielding, its grotesque form echoing that of a vast centipede, with sinister faces adorning its length. As its numerous tentacles surged toward Azadin, he deftly leapt from the ogre's head, evading capture by mere moments. The ravenous tentacles then clamped down, voraciously engulfing the ogre in their grasp. The ogre's wails of agony reverberated, its deep voice quivering with pain. It hurts. Goldu is in pain. It hurts. I enjoy feasting, yet I abhor being eaten. His protestations were abruptly silenced as he was swallowed whole by the curt's cavernous maw. As the creature devoured its prey, its hideous body contorted and expanded grotesquely, driving on the ogre's substantial bulk. The villagers watched in stunned silence, aghast at the macabre spectacle unfolding before them. The creature's vivid red flesh writhed ominously, methodically dismembering the ogre with its sharp, relentless teeth. Unsatisfied, it then turned its attention to the deceased goblins nearby, consuming them with equal ferocity. Azadin alighted gracefully onto the soil, his gaze fixed intently on the transforming beast. Recognizing the formidable foe, he declared resolutely, "Godkin Kurt, the king of the Fong." Azadin clicked his tongue in disgust at the sight, musing to himself, "Kuts, the erstwhile kings of Fong." The Kurt race was known for its barbarity, its deities having once dominated the land before the gods of Yaigas arrived on the continent. Composed of various monstrous beings, their minions had been driven to seclusion as the new deities banished the old. This venture is proving costlier than anticipated, devoid of any monetary gain, Azadin reflected ruefully. Suddenly, the monster morphed once more, revealing a goblin that had integrated into its mass, a goblin king, no less, dubbed Godkin Kurt, clutching a luminescent wand. A beam of light from the wand lanced towards Azadin, striking him squarely in the chest. Instinctively, he felt for the concealed page of the Divine Emperor's book. With a malicious sneer, Godkin Kurt taunted, "Now, servants of Yaigas, deliver unto me the book of the Divine King. Should you comply, your demise will be swift and merciful." He was interrupted mid-threat by an arrow that whizzed dangerously close, his visage contorting with ire as he bellowed, "You dare defy me?" Azadin, noting his depleted quiver, pondered the origin of the mysterious illumination. Was it signaling the presence of the Divine King's book? Suddenly, a massive tendril, bristling with teeth, whipped towards Azadin. Were it to strike, it would surely inflict grievous wounds. Azadin, with remarkable agility, dodged the lethal blows, contemplating the desperate pursuit of these beings for the elusive tomes of the Divine King. The chaos escalated as the Kurt lashed out indiscriminately, its tentacles wreaking havoc and inadvertently harming its own minions. Venom oozed from the appendages, dissolving the hapless goblins below into nothing more than repulsive remnants. "How impudent," hissed the Kurt, seemingly indifferent to the havoc it wrought. Seizing a sword with swift and decisive movements, Azadin halted abruptly and executed a precise cut, severing one of the monstrous tentacles. He then surged forward, his blade slicing through several more with relentless efficiency and extraordinary speed, displaying the prowess of a seasoned warrior in the heat of battle. At that critical moment, teeth clattered to the ground in heaps as Azadin executed a maneuver so swift and precise that it seemed effortless. His attack was incomparably faster than any prior, a blur that even the keenest of observers could hardly anticipate. Azadin's voice sliced through the tumult, cold and incisive, "These tentacles are too cumbersome for your frame. Tentacles rooted so superficially are inherently weak." Despite the ogre's blindness, it could not withstand the ferocity of the assault, succumbing to the overwhelming force. Azadin, however, managed the situation with finesse, repelling the offensive with a gentle flick akin to nudging a charging bison aside with a feather. The Kurt, infuriated, bellowed, "Silence! I am the sovereign of the Fong." Azadin, unfazed, retorted with a sly grin as his sword cleaved through another tentacle, "No, you are not. You are merely a paltry spawn, far from the grandeur of the true king of the Fong." As yet another tentacle succumbed to Azadin's blade, wisps of smoke began to curl from Azadin's sword, signaling the strain it was enduring from the corrosive juices of the beast. Azadin pondered, even steel cannot resist this foul reek. Driven to a frenzied state, the Kurt unleashed a barrage of attacks in all directions. Azadin, with fluid elegance, danced through the melee, each dodge a testament to his dexterity. Yet, amidst the fray, a thought nagged at him, "Am I toiling in vain, bereft of any reward?" Suddenly, a clarion call resonated, "Fire!" A volley of arrows descended upon the monstrous tangle of tentacles, as the soldiers atop the fortress walls joined the fray. The captain, imposing and resolute, commanded, "We must support the Herald Clan member at all costs." A soldier faltered, his voice quivering with apprehension, but, aiding the Herald Clan could bring accusations from the King's Church. The captain, defiant, countered, "The King's Church has forsaken us. Why fret over their judgment when they've turned their backs on us? We stand here, and that's what matters." Another soldier, rallying his courage, declared, "I refuse to die a coward. We fight these monsters now, and worry about the consequences later." Emboldened by their captain's words, the soldiers prepared their bows, launching a relentless assault on the Kurt. While the beast's true form remained shrouded behind its thicket of tentacles, spared from direct attacks, Azadin watched with a knowing smirk, musing, "They should have just given me those arrows." His observation of the villagers' steadfast focus on the monster reassured him. They were united, at least for now. This alliance may shift once the beast falls, but for now, they acknowledge me as an ally, Azadin mused, somewhat reassured. Flexing his right arm to ease the tension, Azadin bent down and scooped up a fang that resembled a shark's tooth. With a casual flick of his wrist, he flung it at the beast, remarking, "Time to get this started." The tooth whistled through the air, striking with explosive force upon impact. Azadin watched, a satisfied grin spreading across his face. "Just right, that will do." As he prepared to launch another tooth, the melee resumed with renewed vigor, the Kurt's roars echoing across the battlefield, signaling the continuation of a fierce confrontation. He hurled the fangs at the Kurt's tentacles, propelling them forward with bullet-like velocity. The instant they made contact, they exploded with the ferocity of a bomb. Azadin's smile broadened as he observed the impact. "Nice. So this much is enough," he commented with evident satisfaction. The Kurt was abruptly forced back into its massive form. Without hesitation, Azadin grasped more fangs and launched them successively. Each one struck the monster's tentacles, creating violent bursts of destruction. Azadin had not yet employed his full strength, his shoulder and elbow were still not fully relaxed. Instead, he utilized a shift in his core strength, combined with precise timing. This technique allowed him to throw without exerting undue strain on his joints. Writhing in agony, the Kurt roared, "Why you dare?" Azadin chuckled, observing the ensuing chaos. "They're your teeth. Why are you so enraged when I'm merely returning them to you?" The Kurt, its voice quaking with rage, bellowed, I will be the king. I was reborn as a greater being, a god, but because of just one human." Azadin picked up another fang, scrutinizing it briefly. Right, he replied mockingly. "Though, He flung the fang with precision, striking the Kurt's true form hidden within the mass. Clutching yet another fang, Azadin readied his next throw. His tone became colder as he declared, "I just happen to be a Slayer of Sanctity." With astonishing speed, the fang sliced through the air, giving the Kurt no time to react. It struck with lethal precision, cleanly slicing the creature's head in two. The severed halves of its head plummeted to the ground, and its grotesque, fang-covered body began to crumble and disintegrate, sending large chunks of flesh and teeth scattering. "It's over," Azadin stated calmly. As the dust settled, Azadin spotted a wand lying on the ground amidst the remains. He bent down to pick it up, examining it briefly. "I don't know what this is, but the goblin definitely used this to locate the magic book. If it could truly identify the location of the book, then Azadin might utilize it as well. But since this was wielded by a monster, it might be a fairly commonplace item among them. Whatever it is, I need to secure it." Suddenly, a loud voice thundered from behind him. "Soulless heathen!" Azadin turned around, perplexed. The captain stood atop the wall, his arm raised, signaling his men to prepare their bows. Beads of sweat dripped down the captain's face as he stared at Azadin with a mix of fear and mistrust. How rude, Azadin thought to himself, still clutching the wand. He set it down gently, considering the situation with care. They might make a mistake and open fire. The captain's voice trembled as he demanded, "What are you planning? Why did you eradicate those monsters?" One of the soldiers, his voice sharp with suspicion, exclaimed, "He must have brought those monsters here." "Exactly," another soldier concurred. A soldier with black hair, bow drawn and ready, pointed directly at Azadin. "Why would monsters appear out of nowhere? It's peculiar. It's undoubtedly the fault of that ominous heathen." Standing amidst the battlefield ruins of the Kurt, Azadin looked up at the soldiers, his expression calm yet tinged with a hint of confusion. The air was thick with tension as the soldiers tightened their grip on their weapons, their fear and suspicion fueling an atmosphere charged with hostility.